Hey everybody! So today we're going to talk some more about the GC. Kind of. Like, this is going to have to do with the GC, but it's also just going to be some thoughts that I've had about something else that might tie into the GC. But before I go any further, I'm going to start with my disclaimer that I am not a GC expert. I have lots of astrological knowledge, but the GC is one area where I really am just fucking around with astrology, tossing out ideas and theories. I am not claiming that I am correct or right about any of it. And I'm also not, especially with this video though, I want to make it really clear with this particular video, don't take this as absolute truth at all, because it really is just tossing some stuff out there that does feel like it could fit with the GC, but I don't want anybody running with it and being like, yes, she's right. Okay. Anyway, so we're going to talk today about starseeds. And I feel I want to be able to talk about this in a way that doesn't, there's just so much. Okay, starseeds, people talk about being a starseed. People talk about starseeds. They talk about it, when this is talked about, Natalie and I have talked about this, it's generally talked about in a way where it's not very tangible or realistic, or it's very fluffy. The way that the material is presented is very fluffy. That doesn't mean that it's not true or it couldn't be true, but there's just not a lot there to really sink your teeth into as far as how to make this tangible. There's not a lot. Like, where do they come up with these sorry, there's something going on over there. How do people come up with these ideas of what it means to be a starseed from Sirius, or what it means to be a starseed from the Pleiades, or you know, whatever. It just feels very like, sometimes it can feel like it's just stuff that people pulled out of their ass. Okay, and that doesn't mean, and again, when I say it like that, I don't think that it's not, that it can't be true either, because I think it probably can be, but it does feel very, there's just not a lot tangible there when people talk about this. At the same time though, with the GC being the kind of place that the GC is, and even the super GC being the kind of place that it is, it does seem like if somebody were to, say, be a starseed, they might have conjunctions to the GC or to the super GC. This does seem like it would be very possible. Especially with the GC being like, people getting like things like downloads. Same thing with the super GC, just on a bigger level, on a bigger scale, expanding the lens, if you will. It does seem like these people would be perfect for this notion of starseeds being real. And again, I'm not saying that they're not, or that they are, but I'm definitely open-minded to it, and I think something like this probably exists. I just don't know if it's as fluffy as it's always presented. I don't know about that. I'm just not sure about that part of it. Now, I've been looking into this a little bit because I like to look at things from a natal chart, right? From a natal chart perspective. That's how I like to look at things. And, you know, there are people that feel like if certain fixed stars, say, make important contacts in your natal chart, this could indicate being from a certain place. Say, like, if you have, like, I don't know, the fixed star Vega conjunct something in your chart. And I mean, if you're going to go this way, I would use, like, I wouldn't go further than 1.5 degrees applying and separating. I would keep the degrees very tight if you were to look at it like this. But certain fixed stars or even asteroids might give you some clues as to what kind of star seed you are, or where you're from, where you originate from, or at the very least where you've spent some of your lifetimes. I think it's a really interesting theory. I don't know, there's no way to prove it. There's no way to prove that, but I still think that it's a really cool thing to look at. But I guess I am curious for people that, because I do feel like there is something, I mean, I think regardless if you've got GC contacts or super GC contacts or Galactic, or not Galactic, Great Attractor. Sorry, it's really cold out here and I'm starting to, my mind's not working right. Or Great Attractor contacts. I think regardless if you have any like conjunctions to those or even like oppositions to those, I think you could still be a starseed. I'm not trying to say that starseeds are only people that have GC, GA, or SGC conjunctions or oppositions. I'm not trying to say that. But I do feel like if you have planets conjunct the super GC, conjunct the Galactic Center, conjunct the Great Attractor, it might, I don't know, because there's like a galactic quality to those as there is. I don't know. I feel like it might, the propensity of being a starseed, their possibility of being a starseed might be higher, maybe. I don't think you have to have those contacts to be a starseed, but it might add some weight to the possibility of being one. So if you've got, conjunctions like that, or you've got oppositions to the GC or to the super GC, and I know a lot of people have done these before, these quizzes online where you can see what kind of starseed you are. And I mean, I kind of say that jokingly because it's, I don't know, quizzes online rarely tell you. Again, there's not a lot tangible about those quizzes, right? But it might be a good place to start to figure out what to pull. Let's say that you take this quiz and they tell you you're from LII. Perhaps, pulling stuff that has to do with LII, like Vega, would be something you might want to try doing in your chart. Pull it and see if it touches anything in your chart personally. It might be a good, I guess I just mean take the quiz answers with like a grain of salt, but then pull things that have to do with your answer in your own chart and see if they make sense. But again, I would use an orb of like 1.5 degrees applying and separating, if not tighter. I would stick to conjunctions. Everybody's different. You might, want to use oppositions and trines and all that. That's fine. I would probably stick to conjunctions for this purpose. I probably would if I were you. But I would be curious. I'd be curious if you all do this. And down below in the description, I'll post some different things that you could pull to play around with this with your own chart, like different things you could pull that have to do with, say, Lyra or Andromeda or Sirius or whatever, different things that you could pull in the chart that might help you to kind of see what's going on in that regard. But let me know if you've done anything like this before for yourself, or if you do it now. Let me know what it comes back with, if anything interesting comes back, because I would be curious, because this is something that I'd really like to look at in a more serious way. Serious in a more serious way, because I do think that it's very interesting, and I do think that it could easily tie in with the GC, but there would have to be a lot more research done in this area, for sure. But let me know. I really would be curious. I'm gonna get going because it's fucking cold and I can't feel my hands. But if you want to follow us on Instagram, you can find us at Let's Fuck with Astrology. I am at Saturn Season Astrology on Instagram. Natalie is at Eterno Astrology on Instagram. If you want to like or subscribe or whatever the fuck people do with videos on YouTube, you can search for us in YouTube by searching for Let's Fuck with Astrology. If you're watching this already on YouTube, you can like and subscribe below. If you do the Reddit thing, come join us on the subreddit Let's Fuck with Astrology. And if you want to be in on the GC research, it's still going on. It'll probably be going on a long time. Let me know, and I'll shoot you the questionnaire so you can participate. Anyway, I'm going to get going. I'll see y'all later.